You got the raise. You finally crossed $50,000 a year. Maybe it took years. Maybe you switched jobs twice to get there. You did the math in your head, $4,100 a month. You started planning, maybe a slightly better apartment, maybe finally building that savings account you keep telling yourself you'll start. And then the first paycheck hit, and you sat there staring at a number that looked nothing like $4,100. Because here's what nobody tells you before you spend years chasing a salary milestone. A $50,000 salary doesn't pay you $50,000, not even close. By the time the government, your employer benefits, and the basic cost of being alive in America take their cut, most people walking home on a $50,000 salary are actually living on somewhere between $19,000 and $24,000 a year in real, usable money. That's not a typo. That's the hidden math. And once you see exactly where every dollar goes, you'll never look at a job offer, a raise, or a salary negotiation the same way again. My name is and I spend a lot of time digging into the numbers that explain why doing everything right financially still feels like running in quicksand. If you want to understand the real mechanics of money, not the feel-good version, hit subscribe and stick with me, because this video is going to change how you see every dollar you earn. Let's get into it. Part 1. The gross versus real pay illusion. First, let's kill the biggest lie in personal finance. Your salary is not your income. Your salary is a number your employer agreed to pay you before a long line of other people take their share first. Let's run the actual math on a $50,000 salary in 2026. Your gross pay, that's the number on your offer letter, is $50,000. Divide that by 12 and you get $4,166 a month. Sounds reasonable, right? Here's where it gets ugly. Federal income tax takes approximately $4,400 to $5,000 a year depending on your deductions. FICA, that's Social Security and Medicare, pulls 7.65% off the top automatically. That's another $3,825 gone before you touch a dollar. State income tax, depending on where you live, can take anywhere from zero if you're in Texas or Florida to another $1,500 to $2,500 if you're in California or New York. Let's use a middle ground state. Average state income tax, about $1,600. So right there, before benefits, before anything else, your $50,000 is already down to roughly $39,000 to $40,000. That's $3,300 a month. Still workable, maybe. But we're just getting started. Part 2. The benefits bite. Most Americans get their health insurance through their employer, and most people think of this as a benefit, as in it's free, or at least cheap. It is not free. It is not cheap. The average employee contribution for employer-sponsored health insurance in 2025 was $1,368 a year for single coverage, and that number jumps to $6,575 a year for family coverage. Let's assume you're single. That's $114 a month coming out of your paycheck before you see it. Dental and vision, if you opt in, add another $30 to $60 a month. Does your company offer a 401k match? If you're smart, you're contributing at least enough to get the full match, typically 3 to 6% of your salary. At 3%, that's $1,500 a year out of your paycheck. Yes, it's your money going to your future, but it's not money you can spend today. Parking or transit benefits, life insurance, FSA contributions, these add up to another $50 to $150 a month depending on your choices. So between taxes and benefits deductions, your $50,000 salary is now delivering somewhere around $2,800 to $3,000 a month into your actual bank account. That's $33,600 to $36,000 in take-home pay. We started at $50,000. We've already lost 30% without spending a single dollar. But here's where the real erosion begins.
Part 3. The cost of just existing in America in 2026. Because this is the part nobody factors in when they celebrate a salary number. Housing. The average American spends about 30% of their gross income on housing. On a $50,000 salary, that's the benchmark. But in most U.S. cities, you're spending more. The national median rent for a one-bedroom apartment is now over $1,500 a month. Let's call it $1,400 for a modest place. That's $16,800 a year gone. Transportation. You need to get to work. The average American spends about $1,000 a month on transportation, car payment, insurance, gas, and maintenance. Even if you're driving a paid-off car, insurance plus gas plus the occasional repair runs $400 to $600 a month. Let's say $500. That's $6,000 a year. Groceries. The USDA's moderate cost food plan for a single adult runs about $400 a month in 2026. That's $4,800 a year. And that's cooking at home. That doesn't include the DoorDash habit. Utilities. Electric, internet, phone bill. Average combined $250 to $350 a month. Call it $300. That's $3,600 a year. Minimum debt payments. The average American carries about $21,000 in non-mortgage debt, credit cards, student loans, car loans. Even conservative minimum payments run $300 to $500 a month. Let's say $350. That's $4,200 a year. Let's add this up. Housing, $16,800. Transportation, $6,000. Groceries, $4,800. Utilities, $3,600. Debt payments, $4,200. Total non-negotiable fixed costs, $35,400 a year. Remember your take-home pay? $33,600 to $36,000. You are spending essentially every dollar you take home just to exist. That leaves you somewhere between $0 and $600 a month for everything else in your life. That's the hidden math. That's why a $50,000 salary feels like $20,000. Pattern interrupt. Quick pause here. If you're doing the math on your own situation and the numbers look uncomfortably familiar, good. That means this is working. Keep going, because the next part is where it gets actually useful. Part 4. The lifestyle inflation trap. Here's the part that turns a tight budget into an impossible one. When people hit a salary milestone, $50K, $75K, $100K, something almost automatic happens in their brain. They upgrade. New apartment in a better neighborhood, a newer car to match the new income, nicer restaurants because they earned it, a few more subscriptions, a gym membership, a weekend trip that used to feel irresponsible but now seems justified. Economists call this lifestyle inflation, and it is the single most effective wealth-destroying force available to the middle class. Here's the brutal reality. Every dollar of lifestyle upgrade costs you more than a dollar. If you upgrade your rent by $300 a month, that's $3,600 after tax. To earn $3,600 after tax at a $50,000 salary, you need to earn about $5,000 in gross income, meaning that $300 a month apartment upgrade just quietly consumed $5,000 worth of your raises. And the terrifying part is this happens invisibly. There's no single moment where you decide to be worse off. It just creeps in, upgrade by upgrade, subscription by subscription, until one day you're making more than you ever have and you're broker than ever. This is why studies consistently show that people earning $75,000 often feel just as financially stressed as people earning $40,000. The salary went up, the lifestyle followed it, the gap never widened. Part 5. The path out. All right, now that we've seen exactly why your salary feels half its size, let's talk about what actually works. Because the problem isn't your salary. The problem is the order of operations. Most people follow this sequence. 1. Get paid. 2. Pay bills. 3. Spend whatever's left. 4. Save whatever remains, which is usually nothing. The sequence that actually builds wealth is different, and it's almost embarrassingly simple. Step 1. Know your real number. Not your gross salary, your actual monthly take-home. Most people couldn't tell you this number within $200. Know it exactly. Step 2. Automate the savings first. Before you pay a single bill, before you buy a single thing, move money into savings automatically on payday, even $100, even $50. The amount matters less than the habit. You cannot spend money that isn't in your checking account. Step 3. Attack one fixed cost aggressively. On a $50,000 salary, your housing and transportation costs are the variables that determine everything. If you can keep your rent under $1,200 or your total car costs under $300 a month, you create real breathing room. These two categories alone can swing your monthly surplus by $500 or more. Step 4. Stop upgrading your lifestyle before you upgrade your savings rate. The next time you get a raise, and you will get one, make a rule. At least 50% of every raise goes directly to savings or investing before your lifestyle ever sees it. Your brain will adjust to the new normal either way. Make sure your savings account benefits first. Stock footage, investment app, savings growing, person relaxed. Here's what those 4 steps look like in real numbers. Say you implement them starting today. You keep your current fixed costs where they are. You automate $200 a month into an index fund. You do this consistently. In 10 years, at an average 8% annual return, that $200 a month becomes roughly $36,000. In 20 years, it becomes nearly $118,000. From $200 a month on a salary people call not enough to save on. The salary wasn't the problem. The sequence was. The $50,000 salary that feels like $20,000 isn't a conspiracy. It's just math. Taxes, benefits, the cost of being alive, and the invisible tax of lifestyle inflation all working against you at the same time, silently, automatically. But here's the thing about math. It works in reverse, too. Every dollar you redirect before lifestyle inflation can claim it, every automated transfer, every raise you don't fully upgrade into, compounds quietly in the background while everything else stays the same. You're not behind because your salary is too low. You're behind because nobody showed you where the money actually goes, until now. If this video helped you see it differently, subscribe, because every week I break down the numbers behind why money works the way it does. And next week we're going into something even most financial people get wrong. See you there.